Morning, year five. Okay, so today we're going to have a look at continuing what we learnt yesterday. So yesterday you looked at the column multiplication method, and I was really impressed with the way that you were able to apply that yesterday. Okay, it's a very similar method, very similar process to column addition. Okay, but we're obviously using our multiplication skills to break down much larger calculations into really simple, smaller steps. Now today is going to be a lesson where you're going to continue that, you're going to practice that, okay? And from doing that, you're then going to be ready tomorrow for our live lesson. We'll look at taking it to the next step, okay? And looking at when we're timesing a number by 2 digits, so we'll go to looking at maybe 2 digits by 2 digits tomorrow, just to learn the method, and then we'll build it back up. Okay, so a quick recap of yesterday. Okay, now let's have a think about some of these questions. So just maybe pause the video, have a think. What are some of those questions? What are you going to be using today? Okay, so remembering that very much the same, we need to remember our place value. Okay, we have to set this calculation out correctly. Okay, so that when we are working through our answers, we know we're in the same column, we're looking at the same value of the digit, but different to column addition is we might be carrying across, we might be exchanging more than one thing, okay? And that's really important to remember. So let's have a think about setting this out. You've also got the recap video on Class Dojo. I posted it to the story yesterday, which you could flick back to if you're really unsure today, and just have another look at yesterday's lesson, the main steps. Okay, so I'm going to set out my calculation. Okay, times 4. Now everybody can set this out. Okay, so even if you're really struggling or really finding it tricky, set them out for me so you can make it nice and easy. Now let's have a look. Remember, we go one at a time, don't we? So first thing I'm going to do is 4 times 2. Okay, I'm going to write my answer down here. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, now I'm going to go across to this one. So 4 times 8. Okay, so 4 times 8 or 8 times 4. Okay, if we're not sure, if we can't come to it straight away, can we count on? So can we be thinking about our 8 times table? Okay, 8, 16, 24, 32. Okay, so we can work through. Now the answer to that one, remember, goes in the same column. Okay, so we're looking at 4 times 8, okay, being 32, so we're going to put in the 2 here, okay, and we're going to carry across 3. Now, our next one, 4 times 4, okay, and the answer goes down here. So 4 times 4, have a think, 16, okay, but we do need to remember we need to add on our 3. So 16, add 3, okay, so we're going to have 19 in here, carry the 1, and really important, cross out any number that you've used here. That's going to be really important when we move on tomorrow. Now our final calculation, 4, okay, times 3, and then our answer in the same column. 4 times 3, 4, 8, 12, okay, add our 1, and we've got nothing else to carry, so we're going to pull that across into there, 13, okay. So we now know that 3,482 times 4 is 13,928. Okay, so just have a look at that method, just double check, make sure you're really happy with that, okay? And today, so there are going to be some trickier multiplications. We're going to use our times tables right up to 9 times 9 today. Now, you never are going to have to go further than these ones here, okay? Because we're only ever in column multiplication Okay, we're only ever looking at single digits, aren't we? So we can't have 10 times something or 11 times something, because we wouldn't be able to have 11 in one column. Okay, so we're only ever having single digits, so we're only ever using these multiplications in here. So all of these ones out here. Okay, when we're thinking about column multiplication, we can forget about those. Okay, and we're going to be concentrating on here. Now, if you've got one of your times tables that you're really not quite sure on, you could pop back to this video and help use this today to double check. Have a go at them first, think about what you can use, okay? If it's your sixes that you're unsure of, you definitely know your fives. So if you were doing, you could five times your number and then add one more. So if you were looking at 6 times 6, you could do 6 times 5 is 30, and then one more lot of 6 is 36. So lots of different methods to help you. The times table grid is on this video for you to check your times tables. So today is going to be about practicing. Okay, there are 16 questions. If you're finding it really tricky, if you're unsure, then maybe don't complete all 16. Focus really hard on getting 8 done without making any mistakes. Okay, really make sure you try out. If you find your 7 times tables really tricky, really think carefully about them. Okay, then flick back once you've had a go, double check that you've got them, so you can check your own answers using the multiplication grid, and I'll put the answers onto Class Dojo later. Okay, so have a go. Okay, there are 16 available. Some people will be able to do 16 of those, no problem. Okay, I move on to the extension, that's great. Some people might be focusing on doing 8 of these and getting 8 of these absolutely spot on. It might be that you do one, you have a little check, and then you think, actually, I don't think I've got that quite right, and you redo it. That's great. Don't rub it out, don't get rid of it. Show me that you've done that, because that's fantastic learning. And if you get through these, okay, there is a challenge today, so a separate post onto Class Dojo under the maths extension, okay, and the question is here, okay, can you work out the missing digits and explain how you worked it out? So you're going to have to work through this calculation and find out what would go in each of these boxes here. Okay, so you're going to have to think carefully about that, and I look forward to seeing your responses. I know some of you will really enjoy the challenge of that. I look forward to seeing your responses on Class Dojo later. Brilliant. Thank you very much.